What's up, YouTube? This is Patrick and another edition here of Heavy Therapy. Today I'm bringing you a collection update. I have 5 vinyl to show, and they are in alphabetical order. And there's some death metal here, some post metal, some post doom, some post black metal shoegaze. So a variety here. So this first album I've actually had for a while. I just was looking at all the videos I made, and I don't believe that I showed this off in a collection update. And it is a little gem from 2020. I was immediately drawn to it. The Yeah, let's talk about it. So this is Cadaver with Eder and Bile. I really like the color scheme. You know, kind of cheesy, kind of works. Eder and Bile. So Cadaver has actually been around for a while. They formed in 1988, and they had different chunks of time that they were active. This new iteration began in 2010, based out of Norway, and NATO is the founding member, primary songwriter. The drummer on this release, which this release is the 5th studio album by Cadaver, first one in my collection. I've actually only listened to 2 of them, I believe. I listened to Necrosis from 2004, the album that they released before they took a break, and then I listened to Eder and Bile. And like I said, I was beginning to say the drummer on this album is actually the drummer from Dirk is his name. I'm not a huge Megadeth fan. Dirk from Megadeth is the drummer on this Cadaver album. And if there's any qualms about it, it's the production is very, very drum and bass heavy, which on a good system can even be a bit too loud for my taste. I know you can adjust the settings and whatnot, but just a very straightforward, I wouldn't call it old school death metal. I would just call it modern death metal, crisp, modern production. Songs have, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge structure, but very textbook, but in a good way. Textbook modern death metal album by Cadaver. I really like the riffs. I really like the solos, which are used sparingly. A couple tracks have solos. I like the overall spooky, aggressive mood. And let's show you the vinyl. So the vinyl here is actually, let me get the official name. So the vinyl variant is green mint and yellow spiral. Sorry, yellow swirl. Green mint and yellow swirl, limited to 1,000. And yeah, I actually realized that swirl might be my least favorite variant. I don't know why. Maybe it's even just the colors. Um, Reminds me of like Laffy Taffy or something. Uh, yeah, it's just not my favorite variant. For whatever reason, swirls are my least favorite, I believe. Eder and Bile, Cadaver, just straight up modern death metal by an old school band playing modern death metal. It's good. It's great. Check out Cadaver, Eder, and Bile. So, next up, I am going to show you the album called Hisspun by Chelsea Wolfe. And my girlfriend picked this up when we went to a shop across the border, and happy to find it. And I wasn't too familiar with Chelsea Wolfe myself when we picked this up. Very awesome, beautiful gatefolds. Here it is. Let me make sure you can see it. Chelsea Wolfe on the front. It is, yeah, beautiful gatefold with the lyrics, track listing on the back. Chelsea Wolfe plays like this, yeah, post metal, post doom, even some like dark synth wave is on this album. Kurt Ballou, the guitarist and producer of Converge, plays guitar on one of these tracks. I think some of my favorite tracks are The Calling, Twin Fawn, Scrape. I like when she goes heavier, obviously. Chelsea Wolfe. It took me a few listens to really appreciate what she's doing here. It's a double vinyl, and it was recorded by Kurt Ballou too, as well. It's on Sargent Horse Records, and they have a lot of good albums, artists, and it's hard to see here, but you probably actually can't. You can kind of see. So it's engraved on side D, and it says His Spun. Again, terrible camera, but it says His Spun on the back. So one of my first engraved variant vinyl that I own, I believe. So yeah, Chelsea Wolfe, um, very good voice, very strong, sturdy. Um, Stays in a sort of mid-ranged space with her vocals, and I believe I said Sergeant Horse, but I meant to say Sergeant House Records. It's a, yeah, very good album. Hard to really say who I recommend, who's similar to her because I don't listen to a lot of dark synthwave, gothic rock type stuff. But, if you like Lingua Ignata, if you like Emma Ruth Rundle, strong, powerful voices, playing behind, sort of extreme music adjacent type genres. You like Chelsea Wolfe. We all know right now that Converge is putting out a compilation album with, I'm sorry, a collaboration album with Chelsea Wolfe coming up in November, and the first single dropped, and it's an awesome song. It kind of sounds like not Death Doom, but Converge Doom. Okay, I'm here for it. I'm here for Converge. Really leaning more into their more doomier stuff. So Chelsea Wolfe was a recent pickup, and yeah, highly recommend digging deep into Chelsea Wolfe's music. Up next, the latest full length by the Japanese based Death Doom band Coffins. This is called Beyond the Circular Demise. Just what you want. This just sounds like a band that knows what they're doing. Really dynamic drumming from D beats to just four on the floor, blast beats, everything you want. Sludgy, it's like a sludgy type heavy guitar sound. Uh, Interesting bass timbre that is locked in here. Um, Coffins has a bunch of releases, right? But only I think 4 or 5 full lengths. This was out in 2019 by Relapse Records. Black vinyl, not much to show off there. Um, yeah, for fans at Anatomia, um, Dead Congregation, Temple of Void. If you like Death Doom, you'll probably like Coffins. You probably already know Coffins. Seen a couple of people show off Coffins lately. Yeah, I found a really good price on it, so I snagged it. And yeah, Coffins. Well, what can you say? Just a solid, professional band that knows how to write Death Doom. Next up is an album that I did not expect to like that came out this year. It is the new Death Heaven album called Infinite Granite. Funny is, I'm not actually familiar with Death Heaven. I've heard my girlfriend play them every now and then. I would have eventually got around to listen to them. I knew that Sunbather was an influential sort of post-black shoegaze album. Never checked them out too much. And when I first heard the singles from this, I was just underwhelmed. They were boring. I kind of had it on my PC speaker, so I didn't really even try that hard to like hear the new songs on good speakers. But something one night made me put it on headphones, and I was really taken away by the drum performance. The drumming on here is what's going to still appeal to heavier the heavier Death Heaven fans. Crystal clear, crystalline guitars in production. The vocal melodies are strong. I really love the choruses. I like to sing along to it. It's the album that I've connected to the most emotionally that has come out in 2021. A lot of the lyrics remind me of the pandemic that we're living through, but not in an overhanded, heavy way, right? Abs, excuse me, abstract enough where you can put your own meaning to it. But certainly, writing about loss, writing about apathy, writing about how alcoholism runs in his family on the song Villain. Yeah, uh, really, really fantastic album. According to me, I understand a lot of the criticisms. I just don't find them very persuasive. Black vinyl, 2 LP here, Death Heaven, Infinite, Granite, also on Sargent House Records. Yeah, if you're even Death Heaven curious and you're interested in shoegaze and you know, I hear I hear Tool in even though it's clean guitars, I hear Tool, I hear Circa Survive. There's kind of a Radiohead rhythm and drum section on maybe the gnashing. So it might sound derivative because of what I just said for some people. You know, if you're really into shoegaze, you might have heard all this before. I like I like this Death Heaven album. This probably will be in my top, certainly my top 20 albums of the year. It keeps it keeps it keeps rising in stature for me as I listen to it, as I sing along to it. Finally, another cheap pickup that I had to pick up. The price was perfect. I've listened to it a few times beforehand. I really like it. So, and this I am talking about Extremity with Coffin Birth. And $20 spin, another $20 spin release. Extremity is a, in some ways, again, you know, they sound like a textbook old school death metal band, but, you know, the more I listen, I I think the vocal performance here, I'm going to find the name. The vocal performance here is actually one of my favorite death metal vocal performances that I've heard in a while. Sitting down with the lyrics, the cadences, the the pronunciation, the timbre that is used. I I purchased this alongside Coffins, and I thought I would like Coffins more. But after quite a few spins, I think Extremity, this is one of my favorite gems that I found recently. They they are no longer a band. They don't play music anymore. This was their only full-length release. But so it has current members of Ulthar, Vastum, Cretan, and Bloody Fortress. Sounds like Ulthar, Ulter, I don't know how you really say it. I think it's actually Ulter. Ulter meets Death, meets Incantation, meets Converge. Shelby is the name of the vocalist, 2018 release. Extremity is really, really good. It has these weird off-kilter melodies that creep up. And yeah, really the standout vocal. Check out Shelby's vocal performance on Extremity. Check out Where Evil Dwells. For Want of a Nail is a very good song. And yeah, uh, there's the back cover. Coffin Birth Extremity 2018 $20 spin. Those are some of my recent purchases. I'll have more videos soon in the future. And yeah, so please comment, like, and subscribe if you somehow ran into this video and you're not subscribing yet. Um, Plenty more to come. I like watching all of the metal YouTube channels. I learn a lot. I get exposed to new bands. I just like finding other people who are nerdy about the same stuff that I'm nerdy about. So recommend me music. I'll listen to it. Um, yeah, and talk to you all soon. Bye.